JBL have been releasing smart speakers now for a number of years, and the JBL Link Music represents their latest offering in the compact smart speaker world. It faces some tough competition though from the likes of Amazon Alexa and Google Nest Audio. So should you still consider buying this if you're on the lookout for a new smart speaker? Well, here I'm going to take you through the unboxing, how to set it up and its features, how it sounds, and finally give you my verdict on whether I think it's worth buying. Welcome to my tech gear, let's get into it. Straight out of the box, we have the speaker itself standing at 134 centimeters or 5.3 inches tall. It's a great compact little speaker covered in a very slick looking grille that wraps around the speaker. Its minimalist design and dark color means that it will blend in well with any room. On the top you can see a button for the voice assistant with the volume buttons on either side. On the back we have the mains power socket along with the mute button and the Bluetooth pairing button as well. The box also comes with a mains power cable, and that's pretty much it. There are some instruction manuals as well, but seriously, you're not going to need it. Now, setup for this couldn't be easier. Just plug the speaker in and wait a minute or so for it to finish starting up. You'll be able to tell when it's finished as the lights on the front will stop pulsing. That probably is one of the negatives of this speaker though, as it's not exactly the quickest of speakers to start up. But then most smart speakers aren't, to be honest. After that, simply open the Google Home app on your mobile phone and there should be a Setup JBL Link Music button on the main page. Just click that and the app will take you through the setup process step by step. You really can't go wrong. It will ask you a number of questions, including which network you want to use, which music and video services such as Spotify and Netflix that you wish to associate with your speaker, and whether you want to set up voice match so that the assistant can distinguish yourself from anyone else in your household. Most of this is optional though, so it's up to you whether you set it up now or set it up later. That's it. Your speaker is now all set up and ready to go. Now, if you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to like and share it, and also consider subscribing using the button down below and hitting that notification bell so you are notified about new videos as and when I post them. This all really helps me grow the channel so that I can keep making videos like this for you. Thanks. So let's have a look at the features on offer here. Well, with the speaker set up, all of the standard Google Voice Assistant commands and features are now at your beck and call. Ask for the time, the weather, or even a joke, and Google Assistant will happily oblige. For me, it is the most natural sounding of all the voice assistants out there and does well at understanding a range of voices and accents, even whilst playing music. The Google Assistant button on top serves a couple of functions here. You can use it to play and pause your music with a single press, which provides a quick and easy way to pause your music without needing to use your voice. Alternatively, if you hold it down for 2 seconds, then it will activate the assistant. You can also activate the voice assistant by saying, "Hey," but it's good to be able to have a physical button for it as well. It's not just Google Assistant that this speaker supports though, as it also supports Chromecast, AirPlay 2 and Bluetooth. So even if you don't use or want to use Google Assistant, this speaker still offers plenty of other options for streaming your music. It's that versatility that certainly makes this an attractive offering. The up and down volume buttons are on either side of the Google Assistant button as well. There are also 2 pinholes on the top of the speaker which show the locations of the mics used for the voice assistant. Now, these can be disabled or enabled using the mute button on the back of the speaker. You'll be able to tell when the mics are disabled as the LEDs on the front of the speaker will show up red. Above the mute button is the Bluetooth button, which if you press it will place the speaker into Bluetooth pairing mode so you can pair it with any other Bluetooth device such as a mobile phone or a PC. Oddly enough though, even though the speaker has microphones, you can't use those mics over Bluetooth. So you can pair the speaker with a mobile phone for instance, but can't use it to take calls. It's audio output only. It would have been a nice feature if JBL had added that. Now for the most important aspect, the sound. At its core, it's a single 20-watt downward firing speaker with 2 passive radiators on either side, providing a frequency range of 60 Hz to 20 kHz. Due to that downward firing speaker, it's also able to offer what it calls 360-degree audio. So that's you hearing the same sound whether you're in the front of the speaker, behind it, or to the side. Now, this certainly isn't a unique feature, as other speakers like the UE Boom series of speakers have been doing this for years. It's actually because of them that I was apprehensive of that feature being on this speaker. I was never a fan of the 360-degree sound on the UE Boom speakers. I thought it made the sound very thin and not engaging at all. It lacked that detail and fullness that comes from directional speakers. However, I have been completely surprised here, because here it actually works really well. There is a slight sound variance between the front and the side of the speaker, probably due to the passive radiators being on the side, but it is a minor difference and you'll only notice it if you really are trying to listen out for it. For the most part, it is an even soundstage around the speaker, so it is a speaker that performs best when it's the center of attention. It would be great in the middle of a table at a party, for instance. The sound profile of the speaker means it is at its best whilst playing pop, rock and other music that sits in the lower mid-range. More delicate music does lose some detail in the mids to highs. Now I am being hypercritical here though, and you would probably listen to it and have no issues. It's just a speaker that is happier in a pop and rock world. For its size, the speaker also gets impressively loud. It really does, and it does so without any significant distortion. It performs at its best in mid-volume though, as at higher volume, the bass gets thinned out a bit to prevent distortion. Even mid-volume though, it's plenty loud enough to fill a room. When choosing any speaker, it is important to stack it up against the competition, so here's a couple of quick comparisons for you to consider. Now, if you're in the market for a pure Bluetooth speaker, then my go-to portable Bluetooth speaker was, and still is, the JBL Charge 3. There is a Charge 4 available now, which is a slightly updated version. Anyway, I use it to play music in the bedroom, the study, outside. It really is a great versatile speaker. I've got it somewhere, hang on. There we go, JBL Charge 3. Now I thought this sounded good for what it was. However, compared to the JBL Link Music, it is falling far behind. The Link Music just has much more clarity and fullness to its sound that the Charge 3 just completely lacks. It's a shame that they didn't make a Link Music portable, otherwise I'd probably switch. Well, actually JBL did. They created the JBL Link Portable, a portable, waterproof Bluetooth smart speaker with an 8-hour battery life. Maybe that's a video for another time. Now, if you want the best compact smart speaker that you can buy, then the Sonos One really is the best there is. But it is also over twice the price of the JBL Link Music. So comparing the two side by side, and I was actually surprised how close the Link Music got. It absolutely does not beat the Sonos One. There is a richness of frequency range that the Sonos One has that the Link Music just completely lacks. However, it does get pretty close. If I didn't have the two side by side, I'd actually be quite happy with either. So with all that said and done, should you buy it? Well, with the Google Nest Audio and Amazon Echo speakers costing only $100 or £90, it's hard to recommend the JBL Link Music at its retail price of $120. Fortunately though, it's often discounted down to $80, and at that price, it becomes a more compelling purchase. It's now cheaper than the other two and only $30 more expensive than the Google Nest Mini or Amazon Echo Dot, but with significantly better sound. It is never going to beat the best compact smart speaker on the market, the Sonos One, but at less than half the price, it's sonically far closer to the Sonos One than it has any right to be. The JBL Link Music is one of the best sounding compact smart speakers I've heard to date. It is fantastic value for money. I'd definitely add it to your shortlist. I do hope this has helped you decide whether you should consider the JBL Link Music for your next purchase. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and share it. Consider subscribing if you're not. And as always, see you in the next one.